Hello, this is Rod, appraiser broker, and just want to mention something here. We got a house here for sale. These cabinets are moved down a little bit, or really what's happened is the caulking that was up here along the top of the cabinets has dried up, and I'm going to show you a few other things here too. I went to get a tube of caulking last night. This bathroom in here has been painted. I painted it. And you notice here there's a little bit of gap here between the sink and the wall. And while I've got that taped, I'm going to, from painting, I'm going to caulk that. And there's another place up behind another sink too, where there's another place. Let's just run up here to the main bathroom. We got a few hours before a real estate agent. Get these dirty clothes off the vanity here, and that could be recalked and look a little bit better. That caulking that was put on there many years ago doesn't really look that great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape that, and I'll recalk that too. So this is something that everybody ought to learn to do. It's something I should have learned years ago. My father was a painter and a carpenter. I've been a real estate agent and appraiser for over 30 years. So I'm going to try my hand at doing this, and I'll just show you what an amateur can do. It may be a pretty humbling experience. Let's get up here where we can see that just a little bit better. In fact, I'm going to open this cupboard up, and we're going to tape that, and it may be a humbling thing because I'm not a pro at this, but I'm getting better. And let's just take a look and we'll see what we can do. So I'm going to tip this camera just a little bit. Don't mean to distract you with some little dishes up there in the cupboard, but grab a little something to stand on here for just a moment. I certainly don't want to bore anybody, but if you want to just watch this and we'll see what an amateur can do, and if I can do it, you can do it. So I know real estate, but I'll tell you what I don't know very well is how to do this stuff that my dad used to do. But I do want to get better at it, and there's only one way to get better at it, and that's trying it out and doing it. So, okay, got that up there. It's not perfect, but then again, it doesn't need to be perfect. No, nevertheless, the better job we do taping here, the better that's going to look. And you don't need to watch this whole job, but let's get started on this and do this part. Now, that could be a little bit straighter. I'm going to pull this back and see if we can't get that on just a little bit straighter than I've got it. And maybe I can, and yeah. There we go. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the end off. I think I'll try to show you what I'm doing. Let me see if I can't point this down now, and we'll turn it around. Sorry, I don't have a cameraman, but this is what we can do, right? So I'll point this down and lower this just so we can see what I'm going to be doing here. Got my tube of caulk. And what I'm going to do is use a utility knife here, and I'm going to cut the end off this. And you can always make the hole bigger, but you can't make it smaller. So we'll cut that off. And I want it cut a little bit better than that. There we go. See that? That'll come out just fine. So now I'm going to grab the caulking gun here, put this in, and see if we can't make things around here look a little bit better. If they look a little better, that's a little less than that a buyer's going to have to do. I've got this in the gun now, and we're going to get the stuff coming out of the tube here. Like I said, I'm not a pro. I don't claim to be a professional on this, but to pay someone to come in here to do the caulking, you can certainly pay someone else to do it, but let's try to do that ourselves. There's one more thing I'm going to do, and that is I'm going to grab some latex gloves. It doesn't look like I've got latex gloves here, but I've got some vinyl gloves to put on my hands. Because this is sticky stuff, and what I've learned is that if I use some gloves, I can keep my hands clean and do a better job on this. I learned that a few weeks ago when I was caulking on the back part of the sink right down there. I saw somebody's YouTube video and something they were using, and I thought, hey, I can use latex gloves. I don't need to buy his little tool. I'll use my fingers and use some gloves there. And you know, that works great. Now I'm going to turn this around again so that, let's see here, we want that pointing up. Oh yeah, that's what I did. That's right. Turn the camera this other way. We're going to raise that up, get up there where we can see, and see what kind of a job we can do. There we go. Okay. A lot of people want to pay someone else to do things, and that's fine. If you've got the money to pay them and you want to pay them to do it, you can do that. And but there's some of these little jobs that I think my father would be pretty ashamed of me if I was hiring someone else to do some of the stuff that he really did try to teach me to do this. And he's like, caulking's easy. I'll tell you what, a lot of people don't think it is. He does, because he's done it for many, many, many years. Let's see if I can get this done. And I'm sorry this has taken such a time, but come on. I probably don't know how to use this caulking gun after all, huh? But we're gonna get it done. Like I said, this isn't perfect. That's why I've got that tape on there, because of the imperfect guy doing it here. But when I drag my finger across that and smooth that stuff out, it's going to end up, and then pull that tape off, it's going to end up doing just fine. So you know that I'm an amateur, don't you? Boy, my dad can drag across, and he uses a better caulking gun than this. He can put a bead of caulk on that's so good. And as you can see, this doesn't look so good, but it will when I get done. See this? I'm going to use my fingers in here. Drag that across. And even though I'm getting it all over that tape, this is paintable caulk. It's not going to make such a mess on the wall because it's pretty close to the same color. And let me grab a paper towel a second here. Wipe that on the paper towel. Now that looks a little messy, doesn't it? But guess what? It's going to look a lot better than it did. And before I get done here, I'm going to pull that tape off. Just so that I can show you. We're not going to keep you here all day on this. So we're going to open this back up. In fact, I can do it from right over here. Look at that. That is done by an amateur. And look how good that looks now. Because that caulk that's smeared onto that paint there doesn't really show. But I've got that. I'm going to go from here over, right here over. I'm going to tape that again and finish that up. But I wanted to show you because this is something that makes that look better. It's something that buyers aren't going to have to worry about on this home because I'm going to have that done before they get here. So this is Rod, the appraiser broker. This is something that'll help you get more out of your home. Isn't going to cost you a lot to do, but it's one of those things that just deter buyers and make them think the house is not as well maintained as it is because it wasn't done, but now it's going to be all done. So this is Rod, appraiser broker. Have a good day.